PED West facility closed so that CBP officers can help with the influx of migrants. We're talking about the impact this morning.
It hurt me very deeply to see the dogs in distress.
I've never, ever would harm a dog.
A local dog trainer accused of abuse and neglect has been ordered to shut down.
Plus, are these alien bodies real? Why experts are skeptical.
We've had a mild start to the day, and we expect mild temperatures to continue into the afternoon. A little bit of warming by the weekend, and then cooling down again next week. A look at the 8-day forecast is ahead. It's 6 a.m. on Thursday, September 14th, and you're up with CBS 8.
And a heads up for you, anyone crossing into the U.S. from Tijuana this morning, we could tell you Customs and Border Protection, they're going to be shutting down the PED West crossing. Glad you're with us here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Yeah, Customs and Border Protection saying they need to do this, close that crossing so that the staff can actually handle the many migrants that are coming through. They're working to process those migrants. And Chris Groh is joining us live in San Ysidro this morning. Hundreds of people now trying to cross per day, right, Chris?
Good morning, Eric and Netta. And we saw this firsthand yesterday at the border wall. Many migrants, dozens in just one area, waiting for a chance to, again, cross the border to begin their asylum case. And that's something, again, that we saw. We saw people with different colored wristbands that Border Patrol agents would give out to them to sort of prioritize who would be able to get in first. They would get on that bus. They would then go to a processing facility. Now, something else that we saw firsthand yesterday is at the Irish Trolley facility, not too far from where we are right now, were many migrants that were being dropped off. Hundreds a day, we're being told, because of the processing facility simply just too full right now. And so they're having to drop off these migrants after they've been assigned a court date, and they are then expected to go back. But many of them asking where to go. San Diego Airport, they're trying to get to LA, they're trying to get to Texas, and we saw men, we saw women and children, all of them, again, trying to figure out what to do next. Now, according to a volunteer that we spoke with, many of them are going to try to work with different advocates and so forth. It was actually one of those advocates, American Friends Services Committee, who says that the number of migrants that is out there right now is concerning. It is something that they are seeing that is beginning to creep up, and they do have an eye on it. But as for the closure of PED West, again, this is being done so that those CBP agents can help with, again, the issue at the border. Then, if you use PED West, PED East and Otay still open for pedestrian flow. Eric and Netta.
Expect longer lines at those locations. Thank you so much, Chris Groh, for bringing that important coverage for us. Now to a case that will likely reach the Supreme Court. This morning, a federal judge says the latest version of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, also known as DACA, is illegal. The Texas judge ruled against the Biden administration's effort to preserve this Obama-era policy. However, deportation protections and work permits for 580,000 of these dreamers are still in place. It's the second time this judge has declared DACA unlawful. The Biden administration is expected to appeal this. And new this morning, sewage will continue to pollute South Bay beaches for at least another year, an entire year. The UT reports the International Boundary and Water Commission is saying that's how long it'll take to repair the wastewater treatment plant in San Ysidro. It was already damaged. Things got worse after Tropical Storm Hillary came through. The IBWC presented this progress report to the San Diego Regional Water Quality Control Board, as well as their plans to fix it all. They say they are also trying to restore operations at the Hollister Street pump station, which caused a sewage spill last month. Also yesterday, the County Board of Supervisors extended a state of emergency due to all of the pollution. Governor Gavin Newsom is urging President Biden to free up $300 million to fix the wastewater plant right away.
This morning, firefighters working several hours to put out this fire at the Living Spaces furniture store in Mission Valley. This is some new video just into our newsroom here. You can still see that the smoke, the haze underneath those big lights there in this warehouse broke out just before midnight in the 8700 block of Rio San Diego Drive. It's still not clear if anyone was hurt or if there was anything damaged here. It's also not known what caused that fire or if that store will be open today. This morning, we are learning a man was hit and killed by a train. It happened last night just after 11 near the intersection of California Street and Grape Street. Police say the man was hit by an Amtrak train going southbound. The man was taken to the hospital where he died. The Sheriff's Department is investigating this, and just this month, a total of 4 people have been hit by trains. Well, this morning, a local judge is ordering a woman to shut down her dog training and boarding business because former clients and employees have come forward with stories of abuse. That woman sat down with CBS 8's Anna Laurel, and we want to warn you, some of the images here are disturbing.
They are accusing me of mistreating animals, which is something you will never ever see proof of because it doesn't happen.
Lauren Russell met me in a park in Vista, away from her home where she's been running her boarding and training business.
Having my house on video is not going to make anything better.
This video was taken by former employees. They say it shows too many dogs crammed in kennels, sitting in the garage, covered in feces.
On the day that I left, there were 33 dogs on the property. She had up to 3 dogs in one kennel at a time.
Lexi Sawecki tells us she worked for Lauren this summer.
It was 85, 90 degrees in the impact kennels, which had very little air. I was very concerned for the dog.
Lexi worked and lived with Lauren at that house.
There was a teeny tiny little Frenchie she pulled backwards off of a fountain onto the cement, fell on his neck, fell on his head. I'm a dog whisperer, and it hurt me very deeply to see the dogs in distress.
Former clients have posted to social media and sent me pictures of their dogs after they left them with Lauren. The owner of this puppy says Lauren lied to her about what happened. Others sent me pictures of raw noses, matted skin, and there are stories from former employees of outright violence.
Well, I tried to tell Lauren to calm down. You can't kick dogs in the head like that. They'll die.
That'll never be proven to be true because it never happened.
We have an extreme case of somebody who's holding herself out to be this expert dog trainer who actually has no qualifications whatsoever.
Brian Peace is the attorney representing several people who say Lauren is fraudulently operating her business with no qualifications or license to do so.
She locks dogs in her garage and she starves them and beats them, and just the stories are horrific.
A judge shut down her business until another hearing next month, and she must return all dogs in her possession to their owners.
I never, ever would harm a dog. And I know if I heard all these things about somebody else, it would be hard for me to believe them. But there's zero proof.
In Vista, this is Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
Yeah, some tough pictures to see there, that is for sure. Well, if you go to SDSU or Cal State San Marcos or are the parent of a student, get ready for higher tuition. The school system's Board of Trustees approved a 6% tuition increase. The first increase will happen in the fall of 2024, with tuition raising $342 for full-time undergraduates. Rates will continue to rise 6% each year until the 2028 school year. That's when students would pay nearly $2,000 more than the $5,700 rate they pay now. The Board of Trustees says the hikes are needed to cover a $1.5 billion budget shortfall. Trustees had considered an ongoing annual 6% hike, but stopped at 5 years in hopes of avoiding significant financial hardship for students.
And now it's 6:08, and you may feel a little cooler out there. It's
You
nice.
may, yeah.
Nice.
Some upper 50s inland.
Whoa.
Very fall-like.
Notable, very fall-like, comfortable by the afternoon, widespread 70s, so
Maybe
we
a
really can't
sweater.
complain. Maybe a sweater,
Yeah.
especially through the morning and going into next week when we cool down even more. That absolutely, I think, warrants maybe the first sweater of the season. And by next week, we're going to have officially entered astronomical fall. So that will be the start of the fall season on all measurements. And here at 6:08 on our Thursday, we're feeling like it as well. 70s for the coastline, mid-70s at that. We'll move into the upper 70s as you start to make your way inland. Cloud cover pretty dense across the coastline and inland, but those clouds are not too low down to the ground. It's really just Ramona that's a trouble spot this morning as far as visibility goes. They're at 2 miles. Everywhere else, we're not struggling much, but those clouds are still nonetheless going to affect our view. It's going to be a gray start to the day. It is just Ramona where those clouds are hugging the ground. When we go into the next couple hours, we'll watch those clouds pull back from east to west. So they're already starting to become a bit more patchy, as you can see, a little bit of a space in between, and then they'll pull back, giving us more sunshine by the afternoon. We expect complete sunshine into that afternoon stretch, meaning that sunny skies, maybe even just a few passing clouds. That's going to be the norm to expect around 9, 10 a.m. and that'll last all the way through the rest of the day. This is what we're talking about as far as your current temperatures go. I mean, you do have to head a little bit east, but Alpine, Ramona, La Mesa, all at 58 degrees to kick off the morning. Mount Laguna is at 54 degrees. Along our coastal communities, we're in the about mid 60s or so, and across the county, nearly. We're cooler right now than 24 hours ago. Only exceptions are our deserts. Borrego Springs and Ocotillo Wells a bit warmer right now. However, looking at your coastline, we're about 1 to 2 degrees cooler this morning, moving a little bit farther inland, 2 to 4 degrees cooler this morning than 24 hours ago. And this is just 24 hours ago. If we were to look at this closer to 48 hours ago, 72 hours ago, we would be closer to about 10, maybe even 15 degrees cooler, because we started off our week with overnight lows in the 70s, and now we're in the low 60s, upper 50s in some cases. So very nice start to the day. We'll keep on holding tight with this comfortable weather pattern, and then next week cool down even more. It's 6:10, just about to hit 6:11. Let's check in on what we have going on as far as your border wait times. Right now, we do see that at the San Ysidro port of entry, current wait time is about 2 hours to get over the U.S.-Mexico border. At the Otay Mesa port of entry, you're going to be waiting about 55 minutes, so nearly an hour. And in San Diego County, we've actually been sticking with some pretty mild conditions on the roads, not a tough morning commute. Haven't seen any major crashes or collisions, but to stay on top of that, CBS8.com/traffic has more. Back to you.
Evan, keeping us updated. Thank you very much. Still ahead here, an update on 2 gun laws in California, plus this.
She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
What else a police officer was heard saying about a woman's death. Plus, are cleaning products hurting your health? What researchers are saying.